Early in the morning.
Hey,
Barely had the time to eat.
Hey,
Bang.
boom, boom, let the bass hit. Smelling hard like a facelift. And I'm always standing up like a spaceship. Above average, no basics.
I'm always on like a bass hit.
Yeah,
Boy, I started at the basement. Yeah,
got it out the mud.
didn't make shit. Hey,
Ain't get it thin.
now it makes sense.
If this text gon' waste my time, I don't have time to reply.
Catch me outside.
That's probably where you will find.
Hey.
Keep good news all on this grind. Don't got no time.
It's suicide. If God don't keep me in line, I stay on my 1+9s. Don't need no signs. Already know I'm divine. Already know I'm that guy. Up early in the morning. Hey, top of the morning. We up early in the morning, top of the morning. What's up to y'all, my friends, my folks, man? It's always a wonderful time when we can get together and talk some inspiration. We're going to talk some motivation, but most importantly, forget all that inspiration and motivation. It means, I'm my throat real quick. It means absolutely nothing without consistency, my friends. So today, what we must discuss, what's an absolute must, what we must do is talk about hold on, I got it right here. Where's it at? Hold on, where's it at? Hold on, where's my done? Okay, I gotta find it. Anyways, oh, here it is. It's on here. I'm gonna play it for y'all. We must get my sound effects going. I never really do this. There we go. All right. We must talk about consistency, my friends. Being consistent. Being consistent. Most people think I have this superpower. That I have this incredible superpower to do things. Like, how do you do things and how do you always do them well? I tell people I got the Midas touch, but to be honest, I figured out the sauce to success of anything. I figured out what it is. I figured out the X factor, and the X factor, my friends, is nothing more than being consistent. Consistency is the X factor. Consistency is the X factor. Being consistent is the most important part of being successful at anything. I'll say it again. Being consistent is the X factor to being successful at anything. Ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about consistency, I'm talking about consistency from a point of view where you can see something and you're going to elongate the amount of time you do it for. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. When I say consistency, I'm talking about the ability. Yes, it is an ability. It is a skill, but anybody can learn this skill here. The ability to do things over time the same way, Maybe not the same way. Let me take that back. I'm gonna retract that statement because you can't do nothing the same way. You gotta grow, right? You gotta elevate. See, sometimes I gotta correct myself. I'm saying something like, yep, that's not right. Like, that's wrong. I feel like it's wrong. But it's doing the same thing over time. It's going in the same direction over time. It's putting in the work over time. It's making sure that I'm doing this over a long period of time. Being consistent is so important, and it's a skill that people don't have. You know why? Because first and foremost, consistency for a lot of people means routine, and we get so bored. We get so bored with our dream if it ain't coming true. We get so bored with our goals if it ain't happening fast enough. We get bored. We don't have the ability to stay at it. It gets hard, you don't want to do it no more. You don't feel like it, so you don't do it no more. Let me tell you, if you do things that you don't feel like doing, just because you don't feel like doing, and you don't do it, that means that you don't have the skill of consistency. You don't have it. If you get bored, or if you don't feel like doing it, so you don't do it, you don't have it. It's a skill you need to create. Because what it requires, ladies and gentlemen, to be successful at anything is time. And not just time, it's effort over time. It's so many people that's been telling me they've been doing podcasts for 5, 6, 7 years. And they still in the same place. That's not, yeah, you've been in for an amount of time, but you ain't been consistent. You haven't been consistently growing. You haven't been consistently progressing. And that's the consistency I'm talking about. I'm talking about being consistently progressive. Just because you show up to the gym don't mean you're working out. Listen, you can show up to the gym and do the same workouts the same way for the same time for a year. Nothing's going to, you're going to see the progress from that, and that's it. Some people would do the same thing over time and expecting different results, and you're getting the same thing. And then they want to say, I've been doing this for so long. And they want credit. Listen to me. Most people want credit for the amount of time they've been doing something. You don't get no credit for me. I don't care if you've been doing it for 1 year or 5 years. I look at that results, my friend. I don't care how long you've been doing it. I care about the results. I care about how good you've been doing it. I care about how progressive you've been. I care about how you've elevated over the years. Some people, if you see somebody at a job, they say, I've been working at this same job, same position for 20 years. Damn, and you ain't elevated to whatever. You ain't got promoted. What's up? I don't care how long you've been here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about this building consistency skill, because let me tell you something. If you do something once a month for a year and then you want to claim you've been doing it for a year, you're bullshitting. That's not consistent. You're telling yourself a BS lie. I'm talking about doing it every day. I'm talking about doing it all the time. I'm talking about Keep Good News been running since January, consistently since January. And you've seen the results. You've seen me start off at half a mile. Some people say, oh, you just started. No, I've been running since January to get to where I'm at now. Consistency, my friends. If I was doing 1 mile a month, I could say, yeah, I've been running all year. But we know what it really is. So stop depending on time to lead you to success. It ain't gonna be time. It's consistent effort over time. Consistent, the focus on progress and growth over time. You have to be consistent. You have to stay at it. You got to show up every day. You got to put in the work all the time. It got to become your lifestyle. What you do, your goals and your dreams have to be a part of your lifestyle. People want things that they're not living for. You want the big, mansion, but you ain't living for that. Your lifestyle won't create that. You have nothing that's going to lead you to the path of that. You're not being consistent enough. You may have to do something for 5, 6, 7 years, and some people can't even fathom doing something for that long. They don't want it to take 5, 6, 7 years. They want it to happen now. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? 5, 6, 7 years is going to be 5, 6, 7 years from now, no matter what. So you might as well get started. Because every day that you don't start, every day that you don't do, you're pushing your timeline back. It was a breaking point for me, ladies and gentlemen, on my journey when I was doing this. First, I told myself, hey, I'm going to do this for 6 months and see what happens. I just committed to 6 months. I said, I'm going to be consistent for 6 months. 6 months happened. I said, okay, I'm now about to be consistent for the next 3 years. I'm going to give this 3 years of my attention. I'm going to give it 3 years of my focus. I'm going to give this 3 years of purpose and being intentional about winning in this area. I'm going to give it, though. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to show up. I'm going to tell you right now, my greatest gift for me is my ability to be consistent. That's my greatest tool. My ability to show up and continue to show up over time. Continue to press forward all the time. Consistently not settling. Consistently not being comfortable. You see, you got to be consistent at all of these things that you say that you are or want to be. My brother Uno's in the chat, top of the morning. I see my brother Troy. And of course, my good sister Erica asked me about my skin. Always in the chat. Always glad to have y'all. Let me zoom in on this so I can see what we're talking about today. My brother Uno says, let's scroll down a little bit. He said, consistency is practice for personal pursuits. Consistency enhances aptitude and strengthens expertise. In order to get over adverse moments and to be able to enact mastery of your desired field. And being consistent, you got to be willing to go through the rigors and times you may feel stagnant. You have to physically, and it has to be in your mind, you use the word cerebral, understand, it has to be work of the mind. You have to work on yourself beyond your personal shortcomings and self-doubts. When you've decided to be consistent, none of that attacks you. See, when you say, I'm gonna do this for 3 years, when the roadblocks come, you're like, well, I'm only on year 1. See, most people stop their consistent effort after they come to the first roadblock. They say, hey, I wanna do, I wanna give an example. Goddess Lode, she's having a live show soon. I ain't gonna let the details know, but in conversation, we had talked about a certain company that we wanted to do a show with, and the company sound too far-fetched. Like, man, hey, they gonna talk to us. They want to know that. I mean, that's like God in their industry. Hit the store up. The store's like, oh, well, we can't. You gotta call corporate. Basically, go through the ringers. Now, let me tell you what happened. See, most people will say, damn, I gotta call corporate, I gotta send this email. Most people would be like, it's too much work, it's too hard, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go look for something easier. I'm gonna go look for something that's more sure. I'm gonna go look for something that's easier to grab. I'm gonna look for a lower hanging fruit. That's what most people do. Because it seems like it's too many hoops to jump through. Lord, bossed up. She said, you know what? I'm gonna hit them up. Hit up corporate. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to do stuff without expectation. I talked about that before. You do stuff without expectation, people like that. Don't you like when somebody do something for you without expecting something back? If you're that right person, you do something for other people without expecting something back. And usually when you don't have that expectation, something comes in return anyways. Hit them up, no expectation. We just offering them what we can do. We talked a little bit about, hey, let's tell them what we can offer them. We just want to do something for them. We don't want nothing in return. Man, they ain't more excited about about what we about to do and what about Goddess Lord they about to do than we are. They called her 2 times. They want to confirm. They ready. They see what we doing. They see who we are. They see that we serious and we willing to jump through the hoops in the fire. And they know people ain't willing to do that. Sometimes in your life, I say this, God makes things hard to see if you really want it. Sometimes God makes shit a little bit more difficult to see if you really want it. Sometimes it gotta be that way. It ain't even hard. God just want to see if you really want it. God just want to see, hey, do you really want this or are you just playing? Something you got to be tested. People get tested and they quit. They forfeit because it's a test. They show up and say, I didn't know it was going to be a test. If I'd have known it was going to be a test, I wouldn't have showed up. You don't really want it. You're not ready. You're still average. You're still average. You're going to be tested most of the time. You got to be willing for the test. You got to be ready for the test. Every single level, shout out to my brother, Dr. Carol Brown. I remember when I was going through some, I think it was when we opened up our second studio. Yes, man, y'all don't really know the difficulty it was for opening Studio 2. The place I was in mentally, what I was going through, I wasn't sure. It was a shot in the dark. It was the audacity. A second station? Man, you got to be crazy. Most people only own one radio station. Sounds crazy, but you try to open up another second one? Are you nuts? Yep. I don't think I can do it, so I have to do it. I'm about to do it because I don't know if I can. So I got to find out if I am. Now come on now. We already thinking about station number 4 now. But I remember during that time because I was really kind of going through a small depression because I never forget taking out, looking at my bank balance and showing Danielle when we got back in the car. I had $8 in my account. I remember. I put it all on the line. I risked it all. Literally, I risked it all. I had $8 in my account. And then I don't know if you know how this works, but it's coming. It's like the summer was ending, was going into, the fall, which goes into the winter, which is towards the end of the year. It's a lot of money getting spent, birthdays and all kind of stuff happen. And I remember getting back in my car and then showing Danielle my bank balance, and it had $8. And I said, look at this. And I laughed. I started busting up laughing. No bullshit. I started busting up laughing. And I said, this will never be like, this is what it's about. This is the risk. And people will never see this. They will never see that I spent everything I had to make this happen. I gave everything I have to make this happen. That's because I had committed to being consistent. I said, no matter what, I committed to doing this. So I have to do it, or I'm not who I say I am. And there's no way I would never get caught not being who I say that I am. You won't catch me. I promise. You won't catch me not being who I say I am. I gotta be. That's what I signed up for. I gotta prove it to myself that I am who I say I am. Let me read some of these chats real quick. My sister Erica, she says, my ex used to want credit for 20 years being a janitor. I used to want to give him a little credit for his consistency, but after a while, I thought he should want more. He was comfortable with staying until he retired, and I knew his mindset wasn't husband material. Yeah, it probably wasn't husband material for you. For somebody else, probably, but you, Eric, I don't know. You are really ambitious, and honestly, you've been like that since high school. Since I've known you, you've always separated yourself from the crowd to make sure that, hey, like, I'm a little different than y'all. I want a little bit more. I see things a little different than how y'all see things. So respect. My brother Uno says, when you're consistent, you'll get used. You'll get used to go over the adversity. Yeah, you'll get used to the adversity. You'll jump through the hoops. You'll cut through the red tape, and you'll prove, no wrong. You'll prove the word no wrong. My mentor used to always tell me, Keith, there's no such thing as no. It's just not now. There's no such thing as no. It's just not right now. Change my perspective. Lotus Hustle's in the chat. Y'all know that's Goddess Lotus. I was just talking about her sexual frequency. She said, we ready. We are ready. Hey, let me tell you how ready we are. Because I'm still impressed by the shit that we do. I'm still impressed. See, maybe y'all don't impress yourself. I'm still impressed. And I'm making sure I'm impressed. I'm gonna think like, what can we do next? How far can we reach? Where's the next mistake? I'm looking forward to the next. I'm looking forward to the next challenge. I'm not even looking forward to failure no more. No such thing. See, I've already committed myself. I know I'm gonna do this. I've already committed to doing this, and I'm going to do this until I decide I'm gonna do something else. But guess what? See, this is what most people are scared to do and what I'm not afraid to do. I am asking myself every day, do I still want to do this? Do you still want to do this? And the answer consistently continues to be yes. That's the day that answer is no, I'm not doing it. See, but then what happens is when it's coming. You can feel it. That's why you gotta wake yourself up. You gotta push yourself. The reason why you get bored or the reason why you don't want to do it no more is because it's too routine. You haven't pushed yourself. Chances are, if you do more will happen for you. Chances are, if you put in more work will come. Chances are, if you put in more effort, more things will come out of it. Chances are, the answer is going to be yes, as long as you're willing to grow it. You know, I see from a distance all the time. Now I've been doing this for some time, and I would say that the time in this has given me experience and given me. I've learned the trends of the podcast game. I've learned how things usually go. I learned that everybody's excited at the beginning. And let me tell you, the podcast game is no different from anybody else doing anything else. Everything is the same. I'm gonna tell you right now, when you at the beginning, you excited. At the beginning, you excited. And then your excitement fades. And as Eric Thomas told me one time, he said, it's what you do past the point of excitement that makes you successful. It's what you do past the point of excitement. Everybody gets excited at the beginning. It's what you do past the point. I'm beyond excited at this point. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know if this is. I'm not. You know what? I'm not excited about what I do. I'm enthusiastic about what I do. I'm enthused about what I do. I'm enthused about the people I work with. I'm enthused about going to work every day. I'm enthusiastic. And I don't know if it's true. Y'all can look it up for me. But a good friend of mine told me that enthusiasm is when you are filled with the emotions of God. When you have enthusiasm, you're filled with the emotions of God. So I mean, I don't know how true that is, but a good friend told me that, and I like it. So I'm enthusiastic about what I do. That's why it's easy for me to show up. That's why it's easy for me to work hard. That's why it's easy for me to stay up late. That's why it's easy for me to get up morning. I'm enthusiastic. It's easy for me to go running because I'm enthusiastic about running. See, at first I was excited that I was running. And then it was like, what do I do past the point of it? Then I started setting goals for my running. And then when I hit some of those goals, I started becoming enthusiastic about it because I liked the results. And then I started becoming more enthusiastic about it because I realized that me running is not just about me no more. I'm actually inspiring others to get better. So now, because that is what I'm most enthusiastic about, is inspiring others, which is why I do this show, which is why I built what I built, which is why I work with the people I work with. I enjoy that so much that now, if I have another way to do it, which is running, I'm enthusiastic about it. And I just get to see the benefits from it. See, it all comes full circle. Ladies and gents, everything I do is on brand. And it's not even by like, oh, I'm trying to be this brand. This is just who I am. I get to be who I want to be. I get to do what I want to do and say what I want to say and become who I want to become. I get to do that, and that all benefits me. It's like when you're working on yourself, and we've heard this before, when you work on yourself more than you work on your job, you become a more valuable person to your job anyways. And how do you get paid more? How do you become a better how do you get a better lifestyle? Becoming more valuable to the marketplace. That's what Jim Rohn says. You got to become more valuable to you. See, not your product, you. See, the thing is, we didn't necessarily buy into Apple at first. We bought into Steve Jobs. People buy into you. You have to become more valuable. Once you raise your level of value, everything else that's connected to you becomes more valuable and becomes better. You change. You start feeding your mind different things. You start intentionally implanting the right seeds in your mind and watering them consistently. How do you grow a plant? You have to water it consistently. If you do not water your plant, it will die. Just like most of y'all dreams and goals and ideas, they die because you do not water them. They die because you don't water them. But you expect them to grow without watering them. You expect them to grow without watering them. How do you expect your goals to grow if you don't water them? How do you expect your dreams to grow if you don't water them? And I'm not talking about you water them once a month. You show up once a month for your dream and you expect to have results. Listen. Most important part of success, the X factor, is consistency. The more consistent you are, the faster you move. The faster you move towards what it is you want, the faster. And I don't know about you, but ladies and gentlemen, can we get there as fast as possible, please? I don't want to wait no longer. I don't want to wait much longer. I don't want to wait much longer. You don't want to wait. You shouldn't wait. You waited a long time. Pick up your pace. Pick up your pace. You know, there's this thing in running. I'm learning like lingo and stuff called like negative splits or something like that. And pretty much what that means is as you run, your time should be dropping, not increasing. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't think y'all gonna get this. As you're running, and Uno knows what I'm talking about, your time should be decreasing, not increasing. That means you shouldn't be, even though you're more tired. Here's the thing, even though have less energy, even though than when you started the run. See, most people don't realize this. Most people don't realize that goals and there's a lot of stuff related to running. Maybe it's just me because I have these run thoughts, but if you come out the gate and you use all your energy, right? And most people do, because that's called excitement, and it's good to, you know. And then you're like, yo, I can't run past a mile. I done used everything I had. I guess I can't run. And what happens is you do run, but then your time decreases. That means you're getting worse over time. The goal is to increase your time. So if you got to start off slow to be consistent, we'll start off slow. Say, I'm going to go to the gym 2 days a week, but you damn sure better not be at 2 days a week 6 months from now. You damn sure better not be at 2 days a week 3 months from now. You pick up your pace. You should be at 3 days a week, and you go up to 4 days a week. Over time, that's called getting better. That's called being consistent. That's called being focused on progress. My brother Uno is in the chat. He says, you'll walk, breathe, and drown yourself in your overall goal. You'll fully immerse yourself when you really want it. Full immersion. I don't know if y'all have ever taken anything like a class or, you know, on different language, but I've done like Rosetta Stone for like a month, and I need to get back on it, honestly. I was like learning Spanish, and I didn't realize the program was fully immersion. And I'm like, whoa, they're not gonna talk to me in English at all. What is this? And I realized, like, nah, like this is what it is. And I was learning much faster due to the full. Do you hear what I'm saying? I was learning faster because I fully immersed myself. I was moving at a much faster speed because I was fully immersed. I was being educated faster. I was learning more in the same amount of time. If somebody was talking to me in English, I'd have put the same time in, but I wouldn't have gotten as far. So hear what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is that you got to fully immerse yourself if you really with it. If you really with it, if you still trying to see, if it's still your side thing, then you're going to get paid like your side thing. Like, that's what it is. Like, I mean, I'm not saying don't, you fully immerse yourself right away. But what I'm saying is there's a certain point in which you do have to. I don't know if you've reached that point yet. Well, my guess is most of you have, if you listen to this show. Full immersion. Jump all the way off the deep end. At some point, it's what is required. And let me tell you right now, if you don't think that I have, man, I'm still doing it. I'm still jumping off deep ends. That never ends. I just got to become more comfortable with it. I started realizing, like, damn, this shit is much easier when you just jump in. Because what happens is you always wonder if this is going to go right, if it's going to go wrong. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one way to truly find out. But you're wasting time asking a question. You're wasting valuable time asking a question. So, ladies and gents, it's been real. I will see y'all on Wednesday. Consistency is the key. I promise you. It don't get better than that. Until Wednesday, it's been real. Love, peace, respect. Go win.